What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mr. Straight Facts Show. I am Mr. Straight Facts. Let's get into today. So today, one of the survivors of the Epstein, Maxwell, whatever you call that ring, they had the pedo ring, the evil people. One of the survivors came out and they had something to say. And I'll go ahead and read this verbatim. This person had the survivor of Epstein and Maxwell wrote a letter to the judge overseeing requests to unseal the grand jury transcripts. This person said, and I quote, "I am so confused. Why rewind and go back to the convicted sex trafficker for questioning after all these almost 4 years since she was convicted? What was there to ask? What are you conspiring? What is your next step? What is your end game?" Has every right to ask these questions, right? And this happened when she asked these questions on, I believe, on Tuesday. I think it's on the quote as well. What do you have to hide? Why are you asking this woman questions now? 4 years after she's been in, now you care? And not one of the people they assaulted, the victims, haven't asked them one thing. Nothing. You know, I have a question. I didn't follow the case that much, but did any of these victims receive restitution from this man? Like all the money that he had? I mean, did they automatically become rich? Did we give them $1 million or whatever each? I mean, come on, I'm trying to figure something out here. I know they probably didn't ask for it. This is just me from my perspective. Seeing as how it was their lives that got destroyed so this man could make this money. Because remember, he had no job. He had no career. He got a job from Bill Barr's father because he probably bribed his father for doing some dirt because he had no degree going to the Dalton school, not going to it, but teaching people at it. You don't get that without a high class, high level education, because these kids are their bright children that they spend millions of dollars to go to schools like that. And you gonna tell me the head guy, Bill Barr's father, is gonna let those kids be taught by Jeffrey Epstein, who had no degree? Nah, there was some shady shit going on way back when. This ain't the beginning. He been shady since the beginning. Since the very start. And Bill Barr's father, who's probably gone now, I'm pretty sure, knew of it. If Bill Barr didn't know of it. But we got this victim, don't know her name, asking the judge, like, why are you even giving this chick leniency? What is up with this? No contacting us. The first case with Alex, I think it was Acosta, never consulted the victims. Just let that criminal pedophile leave and gave him a sweetheart deal. Nobody in the history of America that I've heard of has had a deal like that. You get caught, and you get caught for having a pedo ring, and then you get charged for prostitution for 2 people. 1,000 at least young girls. We don't know where he was at in his 1,000 or so when that first trial happened and they could have had him behind bars. How many more were harmed after that? And they're just playing this shit like willy-nilly. Yes, it is what it is. No, it ain't is what it is. You're supposed to be protecting people. It's to me, it's kind of like, if you had an issue with this country and its laws and people not abiding by them, before. What Donald Trump is doing right now, why in the hell would anybody give a damn about the law? Because you look at the Republican Party, they're soft on crime. They're out here allowing everybody and their mama to break the law and get away with it. They let go of criminals in January 6th who've been out of jail, have since committed crimes. The DOJ just hired a January 6th person. Just hired him. After he had been put in, I think he was put in jail and then let out. They hired this guy. And let me find a video for this. This guy, we'll listen to what he had to say. That the person they hired, I got him right here. It is a shocker what he gets to say and still gets to work for the DOJ, Department of Justice, and this man's a criminal.
You're disgusting. I'm former law enforcement. You're disgusting. You are the Nazi. You have to stop them. You can't see it because you're chasing your pension, right? Your pension, your retirement, right? That's what runs your life. Your retirement.
The sad thing is they're not even going to get their pension because it's going to be worthless.
Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you.
He's saying, yeah, fuck them. Yeah, kill them. Yeah, he's talking to police officers. He's saying kill police officers. Fuck them. And they're doing it for their pension. They're doing their job. You're the one that's batshit crazy out here for no reason because somebody lied to you and you believed it. Your judgment is trash. And now they're going to put somebody who has trash judgment in the DOJ. When is this nightmare going to end? How is it going to end? These people get these sycophants in the office and they don't know how to do their job. They're just taking orders. You got them trying to sue Obama. You can't do nothing with Obama because your dipshit President Orange dude, Obama, whatever he did as a president, he has immunity. So these MAGA people, I just want you to know, you guys talk about wanting to have money, wanting to have something. There's no way. What kind of money can you have when this happens? You can't do nothing. With this type of situation happening, what is MAGA going to do? What is MAGA going to do? What are y'all going to do here? DOJ just put in a criminal. This dude right here, this criminal told to kill cops. This guy is going to be in the DOJ, not going to be, is now in the DOJ. All of them, like I said, just to make some money, they're out here fucking up our country. Knowing they're not qualified for the fucking jobs. Not at all. Look, you guys, I understand. Remember when you was young and somebody offered you a job and you just didn't know, but you were young. You was 20-some years old. You just may not have known what the job was. Or you just got out of college and they taught you how to, be an architect, or they taught you how to, be a director or a writer or some shit like that. And you get out and get your first job working at a production company or whatever. What you learned in school and what you learned in work is not the same. It's not the same. So when you get there, you're confused. You have no idea how this job is done. The way they do it, you know how your teacher taught you, your professor, but you don't know how the job taught you, right? Now think about it, being in a situation where you didn't go to college or you didn't have a professor of any kind, that you didn't have any kind of expert give you no advice. And then you say, you know what? I like architecture. And they just dropped your ass off in an architecture job and said, go to work. Are you going to do a good job? Or are you going to sit there twiddling your fucking thumbs like, what do they do here? What do they do here? Do I hold meetings? What do I do? You don't hit the ground running. You have to be trained to do your job. Every last one of y'all, if you don't know your position and you got a job, they train you. Are you telling me the FBI, DOJ, all these departments, the head, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, has no fucking idea what they're doing. They haven't had any training to do these positions. Russ Vought had a note for them. Today, on the first day, you do this. On the second day, you do this. Donald Trump, executive orders. Here you go, Donald Trump. It's executive order. This is going to be your agenda. Oh, really? Okay, cool. All I got to do is sign it and go play some golf? Yeah, okay, sign it. I can go play golf now? Yeah. You got Russ Vought and the minions over here running the damn country. Dipshit sitting there every 5 seconds. Orange dipshit. I don't know. Maybe he know. I don't know. He know. What you know? How do you want a president? First of all, I don't know damn shit. Always looking at somebody else. What? Why are you looking over there? You're the head man in charge. And your little minions are the ones literally telling you, are you having a meeting? I didn't hear about that. How you don't hear about the meeting, bro? And we do know Donald Trump knows about this meeting. He's just playing dumb. But the thing is, you look dumb. He's trying to say it just doesn't stick to him, but I'm still smart. No, you're a dipshit. Because we know, us people know you know. And then you playing stupid, you're already stupid playing stupid. This country is going down the shitter. And it's being done by white people who say that they have merit and have no experience. White people who are talented, that have the merit for their job, should be fucking offended that these people are in a position just because they're white. I need white people to step up and start saying this shit. You know you good at your job, white person listening to me right now. You know damn well whatever you're doing for your position, middle class or whatever you're at, you know what the fuck you're doing at your job. You need to be as pissed as the rest of us. If you're not already, I haven't heard a lot of people say this. I always see black people talking about it. I see other people of color saying that ain't merit. I need to have white people saying that is not fucking merit. You know what merit is? George Lucas, that's fucking merit. You know what merit is? You know what I'm saying? It's not this. It's not. A person who every time you ask him a question, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he know, maybe she know, but I don't know. At some point in time, the I don't knows make you look stupid and you need to figure something else out. That's Donald Trump, the I don't know president. IDK, I don't know. Running the country, I don't know. But that January 6th right here, as he continues on to say kill officers, is somebody working for the DOJ. And if you ain't pissed off about that, and I know my people who are in my room normally, I'm talking about people who may not see that, who may see this or scroll by this, you need to be shitty. You need to be highly pissed that this man is in office right now, DOJ, that Donald Trump don't know what the hell he's talking about. And he's the head person. And the only reason is because some white people in this country won't let go of white privilege. This man is the epitome of white privilege. There is no reason this man should be in the position that he's in. There is no reason Pam Bondi should be in the position that she's in. There is no reason Todd Blanche should be in the position that he's in. There is no reason Kash Patel should be in the position where he is. And I know he's not white, but I guarantee you he puts on his census that he's white. He's Indian or whatever. I'm pretty sure he selects white. Don Bongino has no understanding what the fuck he's doing. And I don't know what he is. I have no idea. He could be black, could be whatever. But I guarantee you somewhere in his census, he's got white too. Because that's the way they think. There is no merit in these people. None. The merit is my conspiracy is supposed to be real. Anybody who believed in QAnon should not have a job feeding food to people, let alone heads of military. Pete Hegseth, come on. Head of the military, and all he did was serve in the military. Thank you for your service, but there are millions of y'all. You're not qualified, bruh. The people who held your position have been generals, have been people who have been to war, not only been to war, structured the fucking war. Strategized the war. This fool's first job to try and strategize anything, he broadcasts the shit like he's on Fox. He was telling people. His family he told. Do you understand the secrets that this country holds could get his family killed? He has no clue. The secrets this family holds, if his kids, wife travel to France or some shit, they could be unalive for the shit this man knows. And he's putting it out there. Yeah, I'm going to bomb these people. I'm going to bomb this. Look, we got this bomb. We're going to do this bomb. We're going to hit this gun. Look, it's going to happen at this time. And then try to gaslight America and say, that's not classified. Then why didn't you tell everybody on CNN or Fox beforehand if it wasn't classified or wasn't what you could have told everybody? Then why'd you just tell it on that one little app you thought everything's going to disappear? Why didn't you just throw it in every email? Why didn't you just call up ABC and say, hey, you know what? We're going to have all this stuff. Wait, you mean tell me you can't share it with the public? Then it's classified, dipshit. And these people just walk around like, it's not classified. It's not classified. Just because you say it's not classified doesn't mean it's not classified. I have never heard a military man or woman tell you what kind of bombs they're going to drop and where. And did not think of that as classified. Every military person, my brother's in the military, retired from the military. Every military friend I got is like, dude, we'd be in Leavenworth if we had even uttered one of those fucking sentences this man uttered. And they got now a person who said, kill cops, Law and Order Party. Kill him, or kill him, get him, go get him, or get him again. That guy is now taking our tax dollars and working for the DOJ. What the fuck is he doing? I mean, the way this regime works, he probably has a higher job than Bondi. He might be getting set up to replace Bondi. I wouldn't doubt it. He wants loyalty, and she fucked up. So they probably have him in there for a couple weeks and then say he's the new DOJ, head of DOJ. I wouldn't put it past him. He has no merit, and he's a white man. He's going to get a job that's going to pay him a lot of money. Because if he's willing to go out here and possibly get killed, you got to understand, these cops had the right to shoot every last one of these bitches. And to this day, I don't understand why there weren't a lot of dead bodies pulled out of that house. I don't understand it. I promise you, if I was one of the officers, I would have at least unloaded my weapon and reloaded. There's no way in hell you jumping on me, throwing spears at me. It's either you or me, bro. I'm going home to see my family. You not. For the life of me, I can't understand why they weren't shot up. And here they are, acting like they're the victims, where officers who unalived themselves because they had PTSD after this Many of them, I'm pretty sure, felt, emasculated. The fact that they're supposed to be the officers and protect people, and they couldn't protect nobody, the ones that was on the front lines. The ones getting their heads smashed in the doors and shit like that. I know there's some crooked cops. I know some of them probably let these people by. I have no doubt about it. Because I know they're crooked cops. They say there's some few bad apples. No, bitch, there's a lot of trees, apple trees filled with them. It ain't just a few bad apples. I wouldn't say 80 or 90%. I'd have to put you somewhere around 40% of them. It ain't like 2 or 3. I would give it 40% of the police forces all throughout the United States are crooked. You can't have it running around rampant like this and it just be a few of them. There ain't a day that goes by that you can't flip up a YouTube or a TikTok or Snapchat with an officer acting outside of his right to do shit. You see it every day. We wouldn't see it if we didn't have these phones. And think about it. They're a big a swath of them, probably, a good 20% have curbed their issues just because the cameras catch their ass. The rest of them that were bad, they ain't gonna do nothing to me. I got immunity. I can do whatever I want. But in this situation, the cops were right. But like I said, I saw some of them just back off. Could have been a fear. I saw some just open the door, let them in. Could have been because of fear. I don't know. But if that was you and me protecting my house, because that's the way they're supposed to treat it, you just let all these people in? No, you should have blasted their asses right at the door. You should have made an example of about 12, 15 of them, and they would turn their ass around. But nope. You just sat there and like, we can't get them all. Let's open the door. Once they started throwing spears and shit at y'all, bam, 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 I would have making a song out of that shit. I would have did it. There's no doubt. Now, I'm not mad at what they did. I'm just saying I can't understand why they didn't let it out. They should have opened up, and they would have stepped the fuck back. But no. Now these people who broke the laws, smashed police officers in the head, some of them lost fingers and all this shit like that, these officers sitting here depressed, some of them dead, can't work in the office anymore, fighting their butts off, trying to get, the Congress and everybody to kind of like listen. And it's a damn shame that the criminals are getting high-paying jobs, let go, and acting like they're the victim. I would have unloaded on every last one of them. They would have been meeting a lot of their makers. There would have been a lot of flower bringing and choir singing. There ain't no way in hell I would have been sitting there talking about, I'm going to take my life. No, y'all would have lost this. That one woman who got killed because she tried to break through the door, it would have been at least 12 of them laying in the hallway. Wiping shit on stuff? Oh, no. They've been capped in the leg. There's no way in hell this shit would have continued. And you know something else? Had all these people been black, that's what you would have saw. Don't fool yourself. The idea that they came in there and did what they did and even got there down on the floor of the house and ripping shit up and throwing papers and reading documents they should have never had in their hand. The reason why they got on that floor is because of white privilege. Had they been black or Latin of any color, their asses would have been dead at the steps of the house. Bet your last dollar, if the majority of those people were black or brown, they'd all have been laid down. And so the privilege was them to get in there, wipe feces, do all that shit. And then the next privilege was them to get let go and treated. Now they got another privilege. They're getting jobs in which taxpayers are paying these fools rent, mortgages, after they done destroyed democracy, trying their damnedest to destroy democracy. It's a fucking shame. And I don't understand why they have 5-alarm fire. 5-alarm fire. I don't know why it's not going off. Is white privilege that strong that these people are too scared to say anything? Because you know what? If I say something, I'm going to lose white privilege. Let me just go ahead and just be quiet. Because I don't understand it. Had it been any other race, you guys would be going fucking nuts. And I know the ones in my room are, so they ain't the ones. I'm talking about the ones who trying to hold on to something of the past while saying, I ain't racist. Then you should be treating that dude and this dude the way they deserve to be treated. He needs to be arrested and stay in jail. Ghislaine Maxwell should never have been transferred to a lesser, harsher club fed as opposed to going to the harder place where she should be after doing what she did to defenseless children. This country ain't shit when you think about it when it comes to this stuff. Everybody just talking and tiptoeing around it, worrying about getting Trump getting on them or some shit, or them sending some officer or something to your house. Fuck them. This is my country too. And I'd be damned I'm going to sit in this country and be afraid. I'd rather die than fucking lead this country as a fucking dictatorship. So fuck them. All of them. What we have in this White House is not merit. It is white people who are subpar that want to be supreme. I promise you they can't even fucking spell it. Ain't nothing in history ever determined one race to be supreme over the other. And damn sure, if we're going to pick somebody or one race or whatever that's going to be supreme, it's not going to be white. Everybody knows it. So stop this supreme bullshit. It's a dream. This supreme shit is a dream shit. Wake the fuck up. So this dude, he gets a paycheck, probably 100,000 or so, for saying, kill a police officer. Not just one, them. Wanted you to kill all the police officers. Everybody inside the house. Only one's going to be left standing was them. He's talking about mass murdering people, and this is the dude they put in the DOJ. A mass murdering thought process dude. He's one. If he could have got away with it, which he could, he knows now. All of them know now. Under Trump, they can go on a killing spree as long as it's black, brown, Asian, anybody else. They can go on and unalive them. Trump ain't gonna do nothing but just say, "Oh, okay, let me yeah, I understand he did all that. You guilty? Yeah, you're guilty. All right, cool. I pardon him. Go out and get some more." How far are we away from that? Because if you don't recognize what I just spoke of, that's Hitler Jr. I've been telling you this whole time, he's Hitler. I've been telling you that. There are phases to Hitler. Donald Trump is at the phase of Hitler at the phase of Hitler. Whenever Hitler started, the months and shit into it, just about, Donald Trump's right there. And this country just sitting there tiptoeing, saying it's fascist, saying it's in the third, but ain't doing nothing about it. As if it is what it is. We're going toward fascism. Close your eyes and hope and pray. No, it's called fight. Fuck them. Fight, fight, fight. So, we had today someone come out and say the truth about Donald Trump in the New York Times. And the title of this article is "Our President is Economically Illiterate." Oh, I love that title. I mean, I would have said he's a dipshit, but you know what I mean. He was all like, this article and I just read the excerpt because I was off of MSNBC. We have a president who is fundamentally ignorant of the most basic. I mean, like A, B, C, as easy as 1, 2, 3. This fool's that stupid. He probably A, Z, P, as easy as 3 and me. That's how dumb he is. I promise you. Ask him to sing it. We have a president who is fundamentally ignorant of the most basic and incontrovertible economic principles. You remember, I had a video a few weeks back of this economic professor, and he said the basics of economics that he teaches within the first 2 days for a beginner that comes into his class. Donald Trump never made it past day 2. And here he is, the president, and he doesn't have 2 full days of basic economics in his fucking brain. Oh, I forgot to tell you. You probably already know this because you've been hanging with me for a minute. We should have known that because why? Because Donald Trump's professor at Fordham, I think it was Fordham College, right? Professor of marketing, I think he was. Before Donald Trump was running for any office, he left an indelible print on this man's brain, heart, and spirit. The professor, whenever his name was mentioned around him, his close friend, remembered this when he did an article, I guess. He would tell everybody. Whenever Donald Trump's name was mentioned, the first thing he said, he was the dumbest goddamn student I ever had. Visceral. It's a goddamn. It came out every time. Not just, he was a dipshit. He was dumb. No, he was the dumbest goddamn student I ever had. You know how stupid you got to be remembered for being stupid? I mean, this dude is old by this moment. And when he hears that name, decades later, Donald Trump, it's the dumbest goddamn student I ever had. Dumbest goddamn student I ever had. And these people thought this man was bright. All right, Five on Fire. So these people thought that he was bright. I don't know how. He went to Wharton Business School, and he also went to Fordham. I think, was it another college he got transferred to or whatever it was? Yeah, just sad. Just sad. But this is what the president of the United States, an economic person, said about him, is that he is basically a fucking disgrace. Just a disgrace. Now, let's go to, I saw a video. This one's kind of long. We're going to go over, seeing as how we're talking about the economic situation. On CNN, I think it's Abby Phillip, but it's someone was standing in for her. And this segment is Bakari Sellers. If you don't know anything about Bakari Sellers, you should know. But we're going to watch this clip. It's about 8 minutes. We're going to explain, we're going to stop and talk, but we're going to go over this clip because I really want you guys to see this. And some of you guys may have already seen it. But when it comes to Donald Trump knowing anything about this stuff right here, if it comes to him, like economics, he has no fucking clue, ladies and gentlemen. Not 1 ounce. Because again, this man is throwing tariffs. You guys saw that he put 100% tariff on one country, 50% on another. And you're like, how in the world are you going to be throwing these tariffs on these people? Because I guess they're buying oil, as it was India. They're buying oil from Russia. And you're like, well, I don't know about all that, bro. First of all, that's going to hurt us. Again, tariffs are our situation, right? We won't buy any oil from you. So we got to find another place to buy oil from or increase our oil or whatever it may be, production, which we were number 1 for a minute. I don't know where we are now. Under Biden, we were number 1 in producing oil. Under Trump, I have no clue just yet because I haven't looked it up. I got your number now, Five on Fire. I got it now. It wasn't coming to me, but I got it today at work, and now I'm gonna try and hit you back up after the show. I've been crazy busy, so sorry about that. But we're about to watch this video of Bakari, and it's a bunch of people on the show, but Bakari Sellers is one I really want to discuss and have a conversation about. But there's another lady on there. I can't remember her name. She has a foreign name, like Batya, something like that. She's like a MAGA minion nutcase, and she wants to have everybody believe, that she knows what the hell she's talking about. She doesn't. She doesn't. Some of the things that she's saying are like half-ass information, and if you don't know anything about, you don't have to be like an expert in economics, but if you don't know anything about how tariffs work at all, I mean, it's really easy. This is what kills me. Just knowing the basics of it is hella easy. Now, if you want to go all into it and into the depths of it and how things are going to work and all stuff like that, you can come into scenarios, but you don't necessarily know like the names like stagflation or, sneakflation and things of that nature. There's a lot of subterms, but we're just going to go into the basics. We're not trying to be experts at this. We just want people to know the basics. So we're going to listen to this excerpt. And I think it starts off with Karl Rove kind of leading into the fact that Donald Trump has been, in their minds, the equivalent of Joe Biden, the way they said Joe Biden, which I kind of agree in a sense about what he's going to say about Joe Biden, and that is the Democratic Party more so than Joe Biden, is that we were telling them the entire time that you need to be more informative to like the, no disrespect, but to the let's say the lower educated people who they need like baby terms like Donald Trump to say you're paying for the tariffs. This is how ABC, and if he had it this way and the way they were talking about it, they didn't get it to the common folk who are below average, who have below average intelligence. And there's millions of us that are Americans that are like that. And it's sad, but that's what they chose. And it's a choice. It ain't a situation that I believe that you was born that way. You just chose lazy. And that's just it. Nobody said that you had to be a genius. We ain't talking about genius level shit. We talking about the basics. ABCs. You know what I'm saying? The cat in the hat shit. And y'all still below that. Those people are still below it. Because it's just simple. But we're going to listen to this.
The Trump administration is making the same mistake that the Biden administration made, which was to basically, remember we had Bidenomics is working.
Right.
Well, now we have the golden age of American prosperity has returned, and Americans are not feeling that. Better to say we're working hard to put America on the right road rather than declaring premature victory. And I think that's a big mistake for the White House and is likely to come back and bite them in the midterm elections.
See, this is the way Republicans necessarily, this is how they work. When you see leaders, I don't know too many anymore actual voters, but when you see leaders, they know how to speak down to people while robbing them and make it seem like they're their best friend. He said Donald Trump should stop saying the economy's good and basically say what he originally said was that, a little pain so you can have, tremendous gains later. He wants him to say that, which is a lie, because there's not going to be a lot of gains for us, the people. It's going to be a shit ton of gains for the billionaires. You know what I'm saying? So in the millionaires, and even you could talk to millionaires who are liberals. They'll literally tell you it's going to benefit me, bro. I know it's going to benefit me because the tax bracket I'm in, I'm good, but I care about these people. That's what's missing out of Republicans. They know it's going to benefit them, but they don't have that gear to think about anybody else less than them. That's why you got Democrats and liberals who are up there in economics, being wealthy, that can see. But what about them? I know we're gonna give some millions, but you got to spray them a few thousands or something. Republicans are like, what for? Why you got to spray? No. They pay us. If we didn't have these brains, they'd be gnawing on their leg. We got this. They're too stupid. And they keep calling them stupid, uneducated. and they're happy about it. I love the poorly educated. The man is literally telling y'all, the ones who follow me are dumb as fuck. Love y'all. Keep being dumb as fuck. You know what? I'm going to take away the Department of Education. So you remain dumb, like in perpetuity, like forever, like forever, ever. Yeah, forever, ever. Dumb as fuck. And you got to rely on me. Then I'll give you a job. See how this fool is literally telling companies who they should fire, who they should hire? The CEO of Intel, he wants him fired. It's like, who the fuck are you to tell businesses what to do? That's not democracy. That's not capitalism. That's autocracy, authoritarianism. That's what that is. And the fact that the right isn't getting fucking up in arms, the people who always talk about companies should make their decisions and we should not have any regulations, that's the ultimate regulation. He ain't telling them, oh, you know what? For every dollar you got to build something, you know, that he ain't doing that. He's saying, what you doing over there? Stop it. That's the ultimate regulation. Fire him. And here we are, Republicans, small government has no problem with having a huge government now, telling everybody what to do. Aren't they the ones that say arm themselves just in case the government tries to come in your home and take your guns? And no Democrat has ever thought about just taking your guns. They just want to go through the law legally to try and curb some of it, even though like 80% of Americans want that to happen. Sensible gun laws. But then you got Republicans literally want to take your shit, and you're like, you know, they kidding. Really? Really? Fire the CEO of this company because he wants them fired because of the microchips and shit that they make, or the computer chips. It's insane, y'all. It's insane that we have a country now that people are just sitting back and just saying, this is what he's doing and this is what he's doing, and it just doesn't seem right. Fuck that. Get up in arms. The people who want democracy and understand what's going on should be fighting for this country like those crazy, whack-ass January 6 people who were fighting for nothing. We're actually fighting for something. That warrants that batshit crazy attitude that they're talking about when there's something actually on the line. There was nothing on the line for them. They were lied to. We're seriously understanding the economics of it all. They're too stupid. They ain't going to find out until the fact when the shit hits the door. We're smart enough to see what's coming around the bend. We're put a hand out. We can say, oh, wind's blowing that away. They're too stupid for that. They're the people who see the accident coming but do nothing until they get close enough for the accident. Then they realize, oh, I thought I could stop. Really? It's coming at you. It's a fucking train coming at you. You thought you was going to stop, and what was going to happen? It was going to stop too? They're that stupid, but we aren't. We see it coming. It's too easy to see coming. It really is. You can't have tariffs and all these things that they're doing and think the economy is going to last. They are stretching this economy as far as it possibly can stretch. It is going to blow up. And they're waiting until it blows. We can hear the air seeping out that bitch right now. We can hear it. They can't because they're too stuck on his left nut. Calling people simps? Please, you're prostitutes. Calling people sheep? You the whole fucking flock. You can't see shit coming until it hits you. We told y'all was going to lose some of y'all farms. No, I don't think so. Now you're losing your farm. Shut the fuck up. Lose your farm like a man. And go start back over again. Quit your whining. You were told. You didn't see it. Now you pay the consequences. Fuck you. We told you. Caring about you losing shit now after you didn't pay attention? You don't care about Latin people. I don't care about stupid people. No matter what race you are. It ain't telling you got to be a genius. Just know simple shit. And if you don't, listen to people who are smarter than you. That's what I do. I don't know nothing about mRNA. I listen to the experts that people trust, scientists. I won't listen to RFK Jr. What would make you listen to somebody who's never took a science fucking class over somebody who studied the shit?
So, Bocce, what about that Karl Rove?
That's her. Bocce.
Firing this person is not my favorite thing that the president has done.
Why can't you just say it was wrong to fire this person? They always gotta like finagle it. As she looks at her notes to try and get her talking points. Firing a person is not necessarily the best thing. Shut the fuck up. Right then, you know she's a dishonest person. So I don't understand why these news segments have people who are totally dishonest. The moment you gotta look at your notes, after you sit there and watch that clip, you gotta look at your notes. Not because he asked you a question. You should know those notes already. You don't need to look down at them and try and figure out what talking point you should pick. Do you ever pay attention to them? I want you guys to take note. If you see any of these clips and these Republicans that ask questions, they got notes in front of them, they always go to their notes. They never have the top of their dome. They always kind of obfuscate, or they'll change the fucking topic because they don't have anything in the notes that pertain to whatever was just given to them. So they are lost in the sauce when you ask them a question that's not on the notes. That's the scary part. How are you in a position of making money at all, of being an expert at all, and you're not prepared for jack shit? Not prepared. These things should be already in your head. Already in your head. That's your job. You got one job, and you can't even do that. She's just going to just ramble and shit. Just watch the ramble.
But I sort of disagree with Karl Rove. I do think that there are certain economic factors that are actually extremely positive.
Notes.
And in firing her, he made it seem like the economy was struggling a lot more than it is. I just want to read one piece of information I think is really telling. So over the last 4 months, 1.8 million native-born Americans got a job, and 1.5 million foreign-born workers lost a job. And we know that 1 million of those, or somewhere around them at least, were illegal migrants who exited the workforce and self-deported.
All right. She's saying illegal workers can't work here. Illegal. Meaning the illegal workers are the ones who are working with getting money under the table. The ones who are getting work permits that are working here, that may be going through the process, they pay into the system. That way, they got a job and they register in the actual, the actual stats. She said 1.5 million lost their particular jobs and deported themselves. That literally means that they got a green card, but they're not a citizen just yet, and they can work here. They may have a wife who's American, a husband who's American, and all these different things, but they haven't gone through the system fully. Or they may have been here a long time and never chose to go through the system because they already had a green card and they kept going through the process, leaving 6 months, coming back, and just doing the whole thing back and forth, living in both places. There are so many variations of what's going on with immigration. And this lady is giving you a report of people who were documented, but not American citizens. 1.5 million. And some of them just left the country, but they had to be on record for you to know they were in the country. Am I right? If there's no notification that you're in the country, that means you're here legally and you're working underground, meaning people are just giving you dollars and you ain't paying no taxes. So this trick is telling you about people who are documented, people who are going through the system, and those people bouncing before all this shit because they're seeing that even people who have done everything right are getting kicked out. So they ain't got a chance. Might as well bounce. They're leaving some of these on purpose, right? Taking the money that they're supposed to going to give them, some of them, on purpose. The other one's being snatched. So her numbers are off. It has nothing to do that these million people who got jobs or whatever, are American citizens, American-born citizens, versus the ones who aren't leaving, 1.5 million, they're not the same jobs. These people who are leaving are making pretty much crappy wages. Some of them may be paying, minimum wage or a little bit over if they're going in construction. But when you're talking about hiring people, the jobs of people hiring were low. May, June, hiring low. You're talking about those are creating new jobs low. She's talking about transfer of jobs, and these people are not taking those jobs at all. But she's out here lying her ass off for the orange cretin and acting like. And here's the thing: the stats that she's reading are coming from the stats that he said were fake. The woman he fired, the statistic woman that he fired, that came out with the jobs numbers. These statistics in which she's reading came from that document. But she's misreading them. She's trying to say that those two actually matter, but those two are not one and the same. Continue to listen to her.
This is a huge, huge win for the president. This is exactly what an America First economy should look like. It turns out the whole idea that there are jobs Americans won't do is a myth. There are jobs Americans won't do for that money. And having this illegal caste underwriting our entire economy, getting rid of that should be a progressive cause.
All right, 2 points. You know where all that data comes from that you just cited? The Bureau of Labor Statistics.
Yes, indeed.
The woman he just fired. He doesn't believe in that data.
In that long ago time, 5 minutes
data's
ago.
all rigged. That data's all
he
rigged.
fired
And
her.
the other thing is
She said he shouldn't have fired her. She didn't say that a few minutes ago. She just said it now because she's trying to make her points valid and saying that he shouldn't have fired her. But you're bringing up stats that he said are fake. So how can you defend somebody saying it's fake, yet though you're bringing up the stats that you think makes him look good from the same department that he said is fake, and you support him in that, but you just don't support him firing her. These people twist themselves in idiotic knots to try and do whatever. And you got to understand something. You got to think, like, what is the motive for all this? Is it really just money? I mean, seriously, you twist yourself in knots for cash. I mean, what's the difference between that than being a hoe on the street? I mean, tell me, what's the difference? No matter male or female, them or they, whatever, what's the difference for you selling your soul for shit you know ain't worth nothing, but you'll take money for doing it? What's the difference? Donald Trump is their pimp, and all the rest of them are hoes. They come out and say the most egregious shit. And here it is. She's trying to walk the line. While lying, she's sitting there walking the line. Here's some stats. And those stats don't necessarily mean what I'm saying they're saying, but they are numbers that look like great. Then goes, he shouldn't have fired her while she's laughing about it. It's like a woman just lost her job. He just added to the unemployment just then. And you're sitting here laughing because you got caught up in bringing up stats off of your little sheet that should be negated because you don't believe that they're real. At least your Orange King doesn't. Twisted in knots. They can't come up with a fact without having dipshit fuck it up for them. The Orange Cretin. What's up, Mark D?
The data, which I happen to find accurate, particularly as they revise it over time, that has a lot to do with the unemployment rate. It absolutely affects the denominator of the unemployment rate, which has stayed very stable. The jobs created number, a little bit different how it impacts that. And in fact, the sort of the flatlining of the jobs added here is something a little bit different than that, and a bit of a problem here. You were trying to jump in.
Yeah, because I wanted you to name her name. What's her name? Everybody, what's her name? Exactly, because nobody should know. It's Erica McIntyre.
Yeah.
Nobody should know who the commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics is. As I was telling you off air, and I'll bring it over here, it's a spoke in the wheel. And this is the problem with President Trump. He has gutted different agencies, and he has gotten rid of career people that don't have an R&D next to their name. This R stands for Rutgers, everybody, so calm down.
Yo, just a side note, I don't know who that dude is. I haven't seen him before personally. This is the first time I've seen him, and I watched this clip beforehand. This dude is hilarious. I mean, I know CNN probably gonna have him back because this man is plugging shit trying to get paid while he's on air. And he does it more than once. You see the host there when he did it like the second time, he said, "Yeah, because every time I mention these things, I get paid." Then he mentioned something else, and they looked into the camera. Tastes good or some shit like that. Y'all, I was rolling. I said, "This fool, I ain't seen this in forever. This dude is promoting on air, and the R on his shirt, he just got paid for saying that." Check this shit out. Take it back just a little bit.
Agencies, and he has gotten rid of career people that don't have an R&D next to their name. This R stands for Rutgers, everybody. So calm down.
This is the second time.
That's right. I got to drop them.
More.
They pay me every time I mention them. So, but this is what he's done to these agencies, where these are career people that put the political association right there before they sign in, and then they do their job and they report on their job. This
But let's
is data.
stay,
2 plus 2
let's
is
stay on
4.
the
It's a
economy.
math.
Let's stay on the
Yes,
economy
no,
for a
I'm saying
second
on
here,
the
because
economy.
he's out there. Because this is Trump is making this the Trump economy. It's got his name on it now. Does he want that?
But the only thing that anybody's able to say are that there are more
Facts coming
migrants eliminated from the economy, right? That's the only thing people have to add. GDP growth is down, inflation is up, unemployment is up, jobs added down. We've seen that. Consumer confidence
Jobs
down.
added wasn't down. They revised it down.
It went up in July.
Well,
It was
that's
down
the
May,
point.
June. It was down
But
May.
the number of jobs added is very.
They're talking about semantics. Let's get to it real quick. There was like 14 and then 15 or something like that, 1,000 jobs when it was revised. It was 258,000 revised down from what it was before. So that left like 14 and some other number, 19 or something like that, 1,000. You guys look at the exact numbers, but they were like double digits in the low teens or mid to high teens. And that's just horrible. That's just horrible, right? And everybody knows it. So that's why he wanted to fire her, because those numbers are horrific. And there's a reason why. Because when people don't know how the government, how the tariffs are running, how the government's running things, and Donald Trump is suing stations and companies and telling them what to do, companies kind of like lay off and try to lay under the radar, play bitch and shit. So they don't want to get on the radar with him. So they're just dodging and not buying stuff, firing people. So that's how this stuff is really going down, because people don't know. When you're in an uncertain economy, when your focus with a business is money and not people, profit and not people, then you start to look at, wait a minute, I can't hire nobody. These tariffs just went up. So in order to not lose my market share, then I'm going to have to try and keep the price as much as it can be the same price. And I'm going to have to start firing people and cutting back on shit. And if I sell a product that I make, then I got to put, 12 chips in there instead of 35 and keep it at the same price. So I got to figure out how I can make this shit happen. And in that process, while I'm keeping everything the same, because I don't want everybody to know, that's called that sneakflation, where they're trying to sneak shit in. You go and get your bag of chips and that shit's 4 cents higher. Then a couple weeks later, that shit's like 50 cents higher. Then a month or two later, that shit's $1.50 higher. That's that sneakflation shit. They don't want you to feel it all at once, because then you'll be mad at them. And then while they're raising it up a few pennies and shit, 20 cents, 30%, they're taking out 10 chips, 15 chips higher, 20 chips higher. Take out 30 chips higher. Here it is. You got half a bag. You got a snack size, the same price as a freaking bag you used to buy. Full big old bag. You like, how the fuck is this? That's that sneakflation shit. So what they're talking about in this process is being able to learn, like what this economy has been doing. And they want you to think that, that's not true. It's been adding certain things. No. Not at all. Everything is starting to fall apart. And there are ways to kind of, because these companies don't know what's going on, they're slowing down with what they're doing. That's why you have less jobs than what they said it was going to be there, because that was the estimated. And it would be that way if Donald Trump wouldn't have fucked with the economy and had people like figuring out. Because again, I told you, the majority, and this is one thing they mess with us too, is the majority of us American citizens, we work at a small or mid-sized business. I know you may be working for a company like, oh, my company got, 6 floors at this, but you still small, baby. I'm trying to tell you, it ain't got shit to do with that. I'm saying the major corporations got 50 and 60,000 people working for them on 400 different campuses and shit. That's considered big. What you got is not. It's nice size, but it's still mid-size. Mid-size to small is where the majority of Americans work. So when you got mid-size to small, those people are going to be affected horrifically, which means they can't front load. They can't front load their product. And what I mean by front load is if, I sell these mugs right here, right? And if I got a big corporation and I'm selling them, and let's say it's my stuff, it just said Mr. Straight Facts on it, right? I don't have no big manufacturing company. I'm going to somebody who is, but I don't, but I'm buying it with my brand on it. That there is going to cost me some money. If I don't have the front load on it, then my cups are going to shoot the fuck up. But what they're going to do is like front load, the bigger companies. Those are the ones where they're going to buy 5 million of them at the price that they are now, and they're going to go up, and we can price it later, and put them in, on the northeast side of Chicago, where that empty building we bought a while back. Go put them all in there, store them there. Now, mid to small, where the fuck you storing something at? You barely getting by. And if you're mid, you're getting by, you're doing good, but you ain't in the billionaire class. You're still in that, tens of millionaire. And you can't front load as much, and you can't compete with the big dogs like Walmarts and the Targets. So what's happening to you? You can't hire as much. You're trying to figure out how you can keep your product close to the same price, because you understand something. When you market a product, like I said, this mug, I don't care if Jesus came down and anointed me and said, Drew, these are your mugs and everybody's gonna buy them for $1,000. That ain't real. Ain't nobody buying this shit for $1,000. This is right here, you ain't gonna buy it for $1,000. That's why they gotta think about, well, what the hell I gotta do? Well, I gotta fire this person, I gotta fire that person, I gotta come in to work myself to keep my business running. So I'm gonna have to start making the mugs. I used to sit at the crib, but nope, gotta go make the mugs now. I gotta go back to day one. Right? Calling all my friends and everybody, okay, you come help me out, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing all that so I can keep these mugs at $24.99. When you can front load them, you can keep them at $24.99 for a year or two. Hopefully wait this shit out. Right? Not unless whatever you do spoils, but you get my point. So that's what they're talking about. They're front loading it. So you and I don't see it just yet. And they're trying to lie to us, Republicans, this lady, that you haven't seen that much of this and seen that much of that. I'm like, that's because it hasn't hit them just yet. They front loaded. But for the smaller companies that you've been working with, yeah, your prices have gone up. You may not think they have, but please go back and look at your receipt and go to the store the next time and see if they ain't on sale for some reason, like they front loaded at the grocery store. If it ain't for sale for some reason, that's a whole different thing. But that regular price, that bacon went from $6.99 to $12.99. You know what I'm saying? In certain places. I know I'm in LA. It went kind of up and crazy, but not that much now. But still, it's gone up since Biden left office. So these are the things that they, like again, you don't have to be a pro at this. Just know some stuff, just simple stuff about what's going on. Because if you do not, this man and all his people are going to sell you, salt water and tell you it's spring water. It's insane.
It's down year over year. It's like starkly down. Yeah, starkly down. Yes.
I mean,
no,
okay.
I'm with you.
So let me just let me finish because I actually did some research. Retail sales down, the trade deficit, what we've been talking about, up. Price of gas up. Price of eggs up. We started to see the price of goods go up. Listen, this is what Americans want, and I've said this till I'm blue in the face. And I wish that Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries actually heard me. They want competency, and they want consistency. Right. We already know we're not getting that out of Donald Trump. We don't have competency out of Donald Trump. We damn sure don't have consistency out of Donald Trump. But we're not getting that out of Democrats either. And so while the economic metrics are what they are, the economy is going to hell in a handbasket quickly. She had to go to page 7 of the talking points to find a plus. And that's not even a plus.
And the markets want stability. And the markets want stability. Go ahead, Brooke. I'll let you
Okay, so we had this $250,000 revision, which is actually a big one, right? So I can see why people are angry and they're shouting conspiracy theories.
Over 2 months. It's $250,000 over 2 months.
Okay, but I agree with Karl Rove that the messaging could have been handled a bit differently. It's the same thing, when I tell my children a little bit of pain.
All right, I'm gonna interrupt here just a quick second here. I'm getting tired of people talking about messaging. Just tell the fucking truth. I'm sick of the messaging, because when you tell me you're messaging something, that means you have sat here and thought about it. Said, we want them to believe something that's not necessarily true. So how do we message that? How do we get them to believe that it's raining and we're not pissing on them? How do we get that? That's what they're doing. I can't stand that shit. Republican, Democrat, Independent, just tell the fucking truth. Let the cards lay where they lie. But here's the point. Do your job properly. And you don't have to make up bullshit. You can tell us the truth and let it be where it is, right? So for you to say messaging, just like Eric 1M is saying, you're lying. So why lie? Just tell it like it is. If you believe so much in your economic prowess and your strategies, then go 10 toes down on it and say, I understand you're not feeling it now. Give us 8 months. If you know, you can project out. But instead of doing that, you want to tell them all kinds of pie in the sky bullshit that just putting it out there. Here's the thing also. Ladies and gentlemen, when in any kind of industry, think about it in your own industry, whatever you do. If you're a professional, what you do. You just don't wake up every day and just choose to do your job a different way. You understand me? There is a strategy and there is a methodology in how you do shit. Republicans have no methodology into what they're doing. I mean, they do have the top-down economic shit, but they don't have like a day-to-day process on how to implement that. They have a bunch of, let me see what sticks. Let me see what sticks. And how are you going to navigate what sticks and what doesn't stick? They're doing this shit on the fly, even though they wrote it down. Russ Vought has wrote this shit down in Project 2025, but again, this has never happened before. So a lot of these things are educated guesses on what they're doing. And so when things they do don't fall into place, they got to on the fly figure out how to shift. They didn't expect, the Jeffrey Epstein thing to go the way it went left, like they didn't want it to go. They should have been able to expect that, but they didn't. They had all kind of plans of turning this into autocracy, and they're supposed to be in a different phase. This Jeffrey Epstein has taken them off their game for a little while. That's why they're strategizing left and right, lying to the media 1 minute saying they're doing it, another minute saying they're not, and then finally did meet. It's just insane. But this lady right here is trying to tell you messaging, which literally means she's trying to figure out a way to lie to you so that you will do or feel and give them rather more time and feel comfortable in their lie. Feel hopeful in their lie, in their strategy. When any party, Democrats, Independents, Republicans, all of y'all need to stop that. I think the country's kind of fed up with that. And that's the reason why we're going through what we're going through, is because people are fed up. Now, the Democrats are so mad at their own because, again, at the same time, we're sitting here saying to ourselves, Democrats, leadership, how did we get here? How did this country get to a place in which they would allow all this crime and crap to happen? And all Donald Trump really did was bring up the worst in us. He turned on that little racist spigot, and there it went. This country rose to that occasion, and need I say, rise? They fell down into to the depths of hell of division and hate. And when you preach goodness and happiness and joy, they don't listen. I know this for a fact. I used to be like this calm and this, that, and the third, about this, and I try and educate. I'm like, but in 1912, this happened, 19, and just be calm. These fools were not listening. I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about the MAGA people that earlier on during Donald Trump's first thing. I have friends who were MAGA, but talking to them normally, they didn't. When I said, fuck your feelings, that's when they listened to me. Odd enough, I had to cuss a few of them out after telling them a fact. I said, I just told you facts, straight facts, no chaser. Fuck your feelings. That's when they listen. Odd. I'll never understand humankind worth a damn. I just try to be me. But it's like, what in the world? Can't speak to you with niceness and kindness. Cuss your ass out. You remember it. You figure it out. Or you'll leave, which is another good thing, because it's hard, having, people who don't listen and can't absorb knowledge. It's scary and it's hard. But it is what it is. And that's what I've learned in this process. But this lady's going to continue to try and gaslight people with messaging. And it's wrong. Carl Rove, what he's saying is right and everything like that. But what I think he did wrong was his messaging. He told the flat out truth. But he too was trying to tell, hey, you got to message it better. Bad is bad. You don't need to throw sugar on shit. It still tastes like shit. Not that I ate it, but I can only imagine.
For a little bit of gain. And if you actually look at the numbers, the job growth, which is in the tens of thousands per month, is almost exactly the same as it was during the last couple months of the Biden administration. So while right before the election we had a spike, it's now exactly the same. Now, if you think about the tariffs that we have, that is a pretty good thing, that the tariffs haven't hurt the economy the way that everybody is saying that they would hurt the economy. And once we have a stable policy and we have consistency and we have predictability, I think you're going to see that boom.
Are you going to be psyched for 19,000 jobs, 14,000 jobs added a month in perpetuity? Because if that's helping the economy, that's not the kind of help people like.
Are you guys not psyched that he raised $100 billion in tariffs?
Before she gets to that, we're going to talk about, if you think about what she just said just a second ago, let's go back to it.
Stable policy and we have consistency and we have predictability, I think you're going to see that boom.
Are you going to be psyched for 19,000 jobs, 14,000 jobs added a month in perpetuity? Because if that's helping the economy, that's not the kind of help people like.
She's trying to say that under Biden, there was 19,000 and 15,000 jobs created. It's the same. What country is this trick from? A planet, better yet. Fuck the country. What planet is she from? Those numbers would have been Biden's numbers. People would have been flying off the fucking lid. No, they're not. They're nowhere near the same numbers as what Biden had. 14 and 19. No. Those are the worst numbers. Economists have said the worst numbers since the pandemic when Donald Trump was president. He has the second worst numbers. And she wants to say Biden had these numbers. Lord Jesus, there's no shame in these people. It's like, dude, this guy, the leader, the head of this, I forgot his name right now. You probably remember his name. I don't watch CNN anymore, but I do remember his face. But this guy, he did come back a little bit, but I need you guys on mainstream media. When these people bring up stats about economics and they're not an economic professional, we need you guys to put an economics professional on the panel, not once in a while. Every show needs to have an economic professional. Because when these people are spitting shit, when they don't have a name of any economic professional that listen to when they're saying what they're saying, like what she's talking about, created the same amount of jobs. If there was an economic professional right there, it'd be like, no. That's not true. These are the numbers. Done. Dismantle the bullshit like real quick. Don't let that shit linger. This is what I hate about sensationalism with news. Give me the facts. Quit sensationalizing shit. Quit trying to make shit turn an apple or a piece of crap into an apple. No. Stop it. You know damn well. She knows damn well. Everybody on that set knows damn well. And if they don't, they need to have experts there because not social media, but mainstream media, you try to turn some of the most idiotic people into experts in their field, and they're not. They're just people who are Republicans or Democrats who have worked for that party religiously, but they're not bright people. They're just sycophants. Or they read these fucking little pieces of paper, and you guys know they have their talking points. We've learned that a long, long time ago. Don Lemon exposed that shit years ago. We don't need your friends on here and talking points. America's sick of it. CNN, your ratings just might come up if you start doing that shit. Have somebody in the center that is an economics person. I don't care if you have a Republican one or a Democrat one or whatever, but as long as they're pros and they're not speaking fucking propaganda, point blank period. I'd rather you have somebody who's a centrist or somebody who's not in either particular party and they're just experts at it. That way, we can look at that and say, was there anything that Bakari said true? Yeah, he was true on 1, 3, 7, and 8, but nah, he was on the other one. He was off. I understand how he got it, but no, he was off. The other lady, whatever, Bacha, was she right? Every fucking thing she said was wrong. Ain't nothing real about it. Next, come on now. We need something that's going to measure it, because just listening to you guys in the center person, this guy, I mean, come on. You're relying on him to be the person that's going to banter this shit. I understand he's doing okay, but again, he has no, as far as we know, no expertise in economics. And so we need somebody. If you're going to have pros on the news and pay them millions, you can't be paying these people hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars a year and they have no experience in the field and shit which they're talking about. It's okay to be the host and make some cash, but the rest of them are just sycophants that just, come on, it makes no sense. It says I'm seeking ratings instead of seeking truth. In the media, your job is to seek the truth for the people. Fuck that sensationalism shit. I'm a little spirited about that. Tired of it. You'll still get ad revenue if you tell the fucking truth. Where else they gonna go? Matter of fact, if you start telling the truth, your ratings might skyrocket way past Fox. But you keep, these stations keep on trying to be sycophants. Let me try and get this person, see what they say. Let me try and get this person, see what they say. Ratings kind of suck. Okay, it's just like, it's like a freaking petri dish of people. Could we please get experts and keep them in all these little whomevers you want to throw on your show? Make sure they have some kind of expertise in what they're doing and what they're saying. Validation. Everything should be fact checked. Point blank period. Just so we don't have too many damn differences in facts on a set. We got these two women explaining stuff and a couple other people explaining stuff, and you can't tell which one is true. Us being facts tellers, we look and see and say, oh, Bakari's telling the truth. Those facts are something you can look up. The other lady gave some stats, but the stats are true, but the context is wrong. They don't match. And the young man, the host, he got it right when he corrected her, which I like. But again, I think they feel comfortable doing it because they're not fighting. They're not necessarily fighting. They're not fighting back.
It's not psyched that he raised $100 billion in tariffs. 5%.
Bakari Sellers, he got his Horseshack on, yo. You got to be seasoned to know who Horseshack is. But y'all, when I first saw this and that fool started going, ooh, 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 I was like, it took me back to Horseshack. I said, this is hilarious. Look at this fool. Let him go.
Yes. I've been waiting on this. Thank you. I got this one. And I didn't do economics.
When I talk, you always accuse me of using talking points. When you talk, I always say, thank you, Bakari, for finding common ground.
Yeah, but I got this one. I've been studying econ. I've been studying econ for this show. Do you know who's responsible for the dollars we've raised?
The tariffs.
Yeah. No. Who is responsible for the tariff? You just gave the statistic about the amount of money we made off.
$108 billion.
Who's responsible for it? Who's paying it?
So it's been a combination of three things. Yes, it has.
Come on,
it's been a combination of foreign governments.
And talk to me.
Okay. He let that shit fly. Talk to me. It ain't been no foreign governments. Ain't no foreign government paying a tariff to us for their product. How are they paying for it? Explain to me how I got a phone case that I bought from China. Explain to me how China paid for this for me to have it. I don't think of me as Drew. Think of me as a distributor or a company that's buying it from China to sell to you for whatever price. I'm buying it from them so I can sell it to you at a markup. If I'm buying this from China directly and they send it over here to me, when is China paying for this? It's their product. How are they putting money in the till for their product? Do you really think that I'm going to go ahead and buy from them? And they're going to be like, you know what? How much you want to buy it for? Oh, these are $1 each. Oh, $1 each. Okay. All right, give me $1 and I'll give you $1.50. Say what? So I'm buying the product from you for $1. That means my money is going to China's pocket. And you're telling me once I give the money to China, China's going to give me $1.50. So I made 50 cents off of buying a product with tariffs on it from China. You see how dumb fuck that is? Who the fuck buys a product and the person who sold it to you give you more money than you bought it for? For the dumb people in the back, go buy a bag of chips from your grocery store. And once you get up there, take the bag of chips, give them $1, and then expect them to give you $1.50 back in change. You'll walk out with 50 cents and a bag of free chips. You think that's going to happen at your local grocery store? I'll wait. I'll wait. So how in the hell is the person selling you the product putting money in the till in your pocket? They're giving you a product for a fair exchange of cash. But they're going to pay more for it than. See how it makes absolutely no fucking sense. None. I get $1.50 for a product that cost me $1. I'd take that bet any day. Anybody would. But nobody in China would make a dime if every product that somebody bought from them, they paid people to take it. And these people literally can't come up with the thought process that if you put a tariff on a product and I'm importing it, which I'm the importer, I pay the tariff, somehow I'm going to make money from China. China's like, look, I don't know what he talking about. He wants to put 40% tariffs on shit. I don't care what he does to y'all. Okay. These were $1. Okay. Because he's doing what he's doing, I'm going to charge you $1.50. Wait a minute. I'm paying the tariffs. I know. But hey, he want to fuck with us. It's a must I fuck with you. So now it's not $1. It's $1.50. So I got to buy it for $1.50. But then hold up. Once it gets over here off the boat, I got to pay a tariff tax. So while I'm over there getting my whole, crate, whatever these things are, these little metal, things, I forgot what they call it, trailer. I'm getting my trailer of these things, and I got 10,000 or whatever in there, and I had to pay $1.50 for each one of them. Once I get that, I'm like, okay, I got it. I don't pay China. Wait a minute. Hold up. America wants its cut. What the fuck? What you talking about you want your cut? So now, after I done got charged more by China because they're pissed off at America for fucking with them, I got to buy this for $1.50 instead of $1. Then I got to pay the government whatever percentage of each one of these bitches. So if I bought 10,000, I'm paying the tariff on the 10,500, whatever, how much money it was, 10,000 times whatever dollar, 10,500, whatever. I'm paying it. I got to pay an extra. If it's 10%, I'm paying $1,500 more for these. So now I have to pay $1,500 more plus 50 cents per each product more than I used to pay before. And you think I'm going to eat that shit? Tell me, would you eat it? Tell me, would you eat it? Food off your table. For some shit that a president and another leader just want to fuck around and play with. Food off your table. I'm going to eat it. Now, I understand when we talk about billionaires, fuck them. They got the money, they got all that stuff. But I'm talking about the regular average Joe, you and me. That guy who's got a small construction company, now his bricks cost more that he's buying from overseas, whatever it is, or whatever they buy, a particular product. We just say brick just for the hell of it. They buying the bricks from China. Now their brick is more. They're a small company. They're going out of business, bruh. They ain't being able to pay another $1,500 plus something else and then all of a sudden try to compete with all these other companies that sell the same product. These bigger companies sell the same product. Their brick $15. This billionaire brick is $1.50 when they sell it to a customer. Are you buying a $15 brick when you can buy it for $1.50 from a larger person? No, you out of business. How is this not simple enough for people to understand? MAGA, how can't you understand just regular math? I mean, like 1 + 1, 2. You guys are 1 + 1. I get $50,000. What? How? Could it not be more simpler? I'm not paying you more for a product. When it comes to tariffs, I'm selling it to you. I'm not going to pay you for buying my product. That's how you end up with a surplus, right? If I give you $1, you give me $1.50, I made 50 cents. America didn't make 50 cents that way. We made 0 that way. You know what happened? MAGA, do you know what happened? They're at the port, right? And they're buying these products, and they're front loading some of them. Small to mid-sized businesses are barely surviving with the small. The larger ones, they're going out of business. Products that are going to go up because they're buying it and front loading it. But now there's going to be a lot of demand because the smaller companies are out of business. They can't afford to give you that brick for $1.50 or this right here for, a couple dollars, whatever, or $10. Now it's got to be $25, $50 because it's going up. You're going for a small to mid-sized business. For those of you who are sellers yourself and you just buy directly from Alibaba or something like that, you're going to have to pay that tariff now. Yeah. So when you were selling that t-shirt or selling these or whatever it was, you're buying stuff on Alibaba and reselling it on eBay, yeah, your price is going to have to go up, brothers and sisters. That little tariff price is going to be added onto you from Alibaba sending China stuff to here. It will be charged to you, and you're going to have to charge it to somebody else unless you want to have it coming out of your pocket. It's simple as that, MAGA. Simple. You're not doing it. You're not getting it. I don't know why, but you're not getting it.
A combination of the corporations.
Almost there. Come on. And who else?
Last one.
There have been a few companies that have.
No.
Yes.
Like the American spender. Come on, the American
Who pays tariffs?
Who pays the tariffs?
Right, but then when a Republican lawmaker proposes a bill to give.
Listen to this lady. I'm going to back it up a little bit. I don't forget her name. Was it Bridget or something like that? The lady right here in the dress. She's trying to bring up the propaganda, the crap that Donald Trump shot out his mouth just to kind of get people to stop talking about Jeffrey Epstein because he done shot everything else out. Now he's talking about what? Giving people stimulus checks, $600 to $1,500 or whatever the heck the number is. He shot that out there to shut people up and get greedy people, saying, look, I told you I'm going to give you money back. This is what we're doing to get you the money back. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but that money you may not, more than likely not going to see. Because again, this lady right here just now agreed to tell you, he said that he was going to give everybody $600 or whatever, $1,500 or whatever. He's going to pay them back because we're getting these monies from the companies. They're going to give it back to the people. So why don't you just have the companies just pay their fair share in taxes instead of going through all this bullshit where Americans have to pay more for products and hopefully get $600 or $1,500 back, whatever. Don't tell them, this lady's not going to tell them either, but don't tell them the fact that they're not looking down the complete line of things, see. if this man gives you $600 or $1,500 back, how much of tariffs? Because they're not going to stop the tariffs. They're permanent. You understand? Tariffs was at the most 2.53% at the most for every country that we were had deals with. Now they're at 10% minimum, 3 times as much as they used to be. So you think companies are just going to eat 3 times as much as they used to get from forever? Because Donald Trump's making this shit indefinite. So giving you what? $600, $1,500? How long would that last? See, they're counting on your greed to get something today and be fucked over tomorrow. I'll gladly give you $600 today if you give me $4,000 tomorrow. And that's exactly what's about to happen. If he gives them money, these idiots going to be jumping for joy. Then they're going to realize the tariffs are still on and the companies can't eat it forever. Then they're going to raise your shit up. That $600 is going to be gone in a heartbeat. And now you're constantly paying more and more and more. So instead of raising taxes on the rich, they're raising it on us. We were saying tax the rich because they can afford it. And they were like, no, we work hard. We shouldn't have to pay taxes. Then who should pay for it? Oh, poor people, middle class people. You guys should pay for it. You don't work as hard as us. Say what? Do you see the logic? They're taxing you and me, making themselves more money while at the same time taking these tariffs, front loading, and still going to charge you the tariff price for the front load stuff they bought. Because guess what? I don't have a front load. Middle class and small, mid-sized business and small business, we don't have a front load. So the price is going to have to go up for us. They bought 1 million of them and sitting in a storage place. We have to raise the prices. They're going to raise the prices. They're going to say it's because of competition. But they got a year of storage that they paid the regular price for. Means they're going to make a lot of money for at least a year or so to come when these things go up. I'm telling you, recognize it. Recognize it. These people are suckering the hell out of you, MAGA, and you're falling hook, line, and sinker. Just wake the hell up already. Get out of this nightmare you're in.
The
Democrats are upset about it. No, because inflation has not risen significantly.
Okay. Again, listen to her. They skate by shit so quickly to fuck with you MAGA people. She said inflation has not raised that much. They promised to lower inflation. What they're doing is causing it to spike. And why, again, like I said, what in the economy is going to cause the interest rate, the inflation rather, to go down? We don't see any breaks anytime soon. Where are the breaks at? I mean, like, where are we going to have this place where, things are going to start being cheaper? Gas is going to be cheaper. Bacon is going to be cheaper. Eggs going to be cheaper. When is that going to happen? There is nothing in the plan to lower prices. Tariffs raises prices or keeps them the same until the rich decide we can't front load this shit no more, making Trump look good. We're going to have to go with inflation. Raise the prices, everybody, and they're going to gouge the shit out of us. They did it during the pandemic when people's families were dying. Do you think when there's no pandemic, they give a fuck about you? It's amazing how people are stuck on stupid. I mean, just in a cycle of dumbass. Just can't get out. Just keep running like a little hamster on a wheel. Just this dumb fuck wheel. Just keep going at it. And at some point, somebody's whispering in your ear, get out. And you just keep getting deeper and deeper into this dumbass abyss. You keep getting deeper into it. Because why? Coming out of it, you feel shame. You don't want Dems to own you. Guess what? We already own you. Because knowledge beats dumb fuckery. We own you already. You're just too stupid to know it. You think you're winning when you're losing. Just because this fool is out here making you look like you're winning something. He's destroying the economy. He's destroying your freedoms. and you're too pig-headed to recognize it.
Oh,
And
but it
so
has risen.
obviously it is
But it has
being
risen.
paid by somebody else.
No.
Bakari. We know that foreign governments and corporations have eaten the vast majority
who've
of
contributed,
the tariffs.
and I will quote my good friend, the great liberal Eric Erickson, who goes out on a limb and simply says
the fact that a conservative says something doesn't make it true, Bakari.
I've been saying that.
She just said the fact that a conservative just said something doesn't make it true, Bakari. She's a conservative, and everything she just said was a fucking lie. She just negated everything she just said. I mean, she got some stats right, but the context of them wrong. And that's her thing. How can I make something right and wrong at the same time? That's the messaging part. How you can make something statistically sound like it's true, but it's not. Just negated her own entire 10 minutes, 8 minutes of this by saying just because a conservative says it doesn't mean it's true. All right, conservative.
My entire life. I've actually you've been agreeing with me. Eric Erickson even pointed to the fact that we've raised all this money from tariffs comes from the American individual who's spending these dollars.
That is false. The fact that Eric Erickson said it doesn't make it true, Bakari. It is false. The vast majority of the tariffs have been paid by foreign governments and corporations.
That's really not how it works.
That's not how it works. No foreign government has paid a dime for this. Not a dime, not a penny, not an ounce, not a nothing, not a lire, not a whatever, not a brick, not a nothing. They ain't paid shit for it. The only thing that they would end up paying for is if they need resources from us and they're buying it from us, and then we kind of either raise the price on them or do whatever we do, they'll make money. They'll end up having to pay, and we'll make money off of that. Shit that we're selling them, we can make money off of. Shit that we're buying from them, they make money off of. I mean, that should be simple. If they have to buy something from us, but we don't make shit, we make some things. But when it comes to China, we don't make shit. Go around your house and see what's made in America. Everything made in China. This shit made in China. Everything made in China. I bet you right now, some of y'all don't had operations and got stents. You are made in China. Things that you got a heart thing, whatever, you part China. America don't make shit. And that's the billionaires' fault from way back in the day. Thank them for that. In the 80s even, and with Russia and Reagan. In the 90s with Bush and the second Bush, well, the first Bush Sr., and Bill Clinton, NAFTA. They sold our shit. Now we don't really make enough for any other country to really give a damn. And I'm going to tell you something else. The way Donald Trump and his minions are playing this game could really F us up. I'm going to tell you right now, if these countries wanted to say fuck America and go about it on their own, they got the resources to do it. They got the resources to do it, and it wouldn't even affect them as much as Donald Trump and his minions want you to believe. That's something that's going to mess with them. I know it's going to mess with them just a little bit. Don't get me wrong. But they can survive without it. See, the only way Donald Trump and his minions are going to get anything done is if they start a war and start like unaliving people and taking their property, taking their land and coalescing. But again, when you got no other country to go on your team, you're going to lose. That's why I think Donald Trump is always hanging out with dictators. He loves dictators. Because if he can get them on his side, they're the ones who have the most nukes, then they could take over everybody else. I don't know if that's what they want to do. That's a stretch by every imagination. But I can't figure out for the life of me why he caters to them and fucks with our allies. Because if you're catering to the people, you're becoming allies with our enemies. And the only reason you want to do that is if you want to do something with the enemies and partner with them. And why would we partner with our enemies? It makes no sense. So you got to try and make sense of why we would want to partner with enemies and F over our allies, unless you're trying to shift whom our enemies and allies are. I mean, please start thinking about this, mainstream media, investigative reporters, and other people who do this for a living. Please start looking at that and start seeing, do your investigations and get this out to the people, because I don't have that reach. But trust me, it needs to be done. There is something up that we are. Remember, Donald Trump likes to do things in public, and you kind of hide it. It's like hiding in plain sight type of thing. Him talking about his pedophilic ways out in the open, so you don't really think about what he's doing behind closed doors, is 100,000 times worse. Please pay attention to this, because they can't keep doing what they're doing and us not go to war. These people in other countries, they're given, just because we are the country that we have built up a reserve of respect. Maybe because of fear, a lot of times because of the things that we've done for people, U.S. aid and all these other things like that. But we've built up decades upon decades of respect. And we're losing every ounce of it, one by one, with Donald Trump. It has been 7 months, and look how far we've fallen. This jobs report is just one thing. Thank you, Demetrius, for your donation. This job report is just one thing. I pray that it doesn't get worse real fast, but we need to work on this. Democrats, y'all need to be doing something. Suing him. I don't know what it is. Can you put him in jail? I don't know what it is, but I'm getting tired of seeing this dude continually win by doing wrong. This is not something we should be teaching Americans, our kids, our grandkids. Doing wrong, you rise. Doing right, you get arrested. We're building a situation where if you start letting go of the Maxwells and the P. Diddy's of the world, what's the future look like? There's a bunch of crime and people getting away with it and putting people in jail who complain about getting harmed by these people. The Republican Party at this time is literally giving nothing but respect to criminals and disrespect to those who abide by the law. We have never found President Obama to have done anything that was untoward to American citizens. We've never. But somehow, that's the situation. They're trying to turn good people into bad people and bad people into good people. This guy says beat and kill the officers. That guy now works in the DOJ. And they're trying to put away a president, Obama, whom I want y'all to understand something. Everybody's listening and can listen to me. President Obama, a black man being the president, historic. Mitch McConnell said on day one that they were going to make him a one-term president. And no matter what he does for the American people, they're going to make sure it did not happen. We're going to make him fail at every corner, which literally means a man that preached on hope and change could not change anything because they just didn't want it to happen. Even though their constituents wanted it, they had more hate in their heart than hope. So they switched teams. After hoping on Obama, they listened to old white men and women, Republicans, lie on Obama day after day after day. And they're the ones who started the demise or the destruction of our democracy when that one guy who was a senator or whatever yelled out, "You're a liar," to President Obama. I, in my lifetime, had never seen somebody disrespect a president of the United States that way, ever in my lifetime. And the Republicans allowed that shit to happen, applauded it even. He should have been censored for it. He wasn't. They allowed that to happen to him. This man preached hope and all these different things of positivity. As a president, you have choices to do a lot of things to protect the country. And sometimes you got to bomb and unalive people, and that's not going to be good on any side, because as American citizens, we don't ever want to see that. And therefore, we light into the presidents, vice presidents, and all that when they decide to go and bomb people and harm them, killing innocent people. That happened. Millions of us were pissed about it. But Donald Trump has been for years doing illegal, wrong, horrible things, unaliving people, doing all kind of crazy shit. Not once have these people gone against him until his second term, when he didn't release the Epstein files, in which they thought all Democrats were on, especially Clinton, who may be on it. And I'm saying, still get his ass if he's on it. I take people over party every day. Protect these children. Because if these people did these things to these children, you think they stopped? I guarantee you, right this minute as we speak, one of those people that's in that document, if they're not dead, is harming a child right the fuck now. Probably would do it tomorrow, would do it the next day, would do it the following week. While they twiddle their fucking fingers, deciding whether should we let them know that in their neighborhood there's a guy harming their children. Oh, he's rich? No, I don't think we should tell them. And you want that type of person running the country. I want you MAGA people to look at your daughter, your wife, your kids, and tell them that you wouldn't protect them if Donald Trump told you to bring them to the Oval Office and he wanted to rape them. You wouldn't protect them. You would just be a sycophant and bring your daughter and just let it go. Take her back home crying and everything and be like, isn't he a great president? Because that's how gross you guys are. You can separate another child as if it's not your own. All children are your children. If grown-ups aren't protecting them, we're harming them. And if you can't see these babies who are grown now, but when they were babies, you can't see babies being harmed and you want to protect people because they got money? Wow. You guys are shit people. These people are shit human beings. You're holding information. You know what's so tripped is? Dan Bongino and Kash Patel were doing this exact same thing. They were a little more hot-headed about it than me, screaming and yelling and stuff like that. They were a little bit more hot-headed than me, but they were passionate about it. And harming the kids. They didn't go into detail, but they were like, oh, they harming the kids. We got to find out who's harming the kids. Who da 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 da. And they thought it was Democrats. They was all screaming and everything. Now that they know, now that they've seen the documents, now they're on this campaign to hide shit. Dan Bongino, where you at, bruh? Are you going to protect the kids or Donald Trump? Kash Patel, is it the kids or Donald Trump? You preached and made millions of dollars in this game of podcasting or being online YouTube channels. You made millions of dollars from people. bitching and moaning about protecting these particular babies. Rightfully so, bitching and moaning. And now you're silent as fuck. Nothing to see here, folks, when you know there's everything to see. You don't spend a shit ton of money in a lot of fucking hours getting a man's name in every piece of document. That with Jeffrey Epstein's files, the evidence of Jeffrey Epstein, all those files have Donald Trump all over them. It's Epstein's files. And you guys spent time covering it up. The swampiest fucking thing ever. Trying to make law up and say, hey, you know, he was a private citizen, so you can't really see it. Sorry, MAGA. Sorry, America. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me there's stories in there that are so egregious that he would want his name extracted? I mean, that's not innocent whatsoever. That's guilty as fuck. Then he goes out and says, there's a lot of lies in it, and it doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of lies. There's lies all over the place. You know, I want to harm anybody's life for no reason. Bro, there's video of them having relations with children. How you fucking up his life? Don't show the child, but show the man doing it. But you got to show the child to the judge. You ain't got to show it to us. Don't want to do that because we're trying to protect people. If that's the case of this the way this court is set up, Democrats, when you get in, we got to start changing some laws because the way it seems, the laws are set to protect the villain in the story, not the hero. The villain is one that get protected. The person coming forward and telling the truth and being a hero and going against the powers that be, that person is ostracized, treated like shit. And you guys, these laws are built for the criminal, not for the innocent. Because this documentation should be out. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, without redactions, except for the names of the children, which we kind of know a lot of them anyway. But no video. You can write it down. Somebody can even describe the scene of what actually was happening and who was there. You don't have to show the picture. I'm sure you can write it down. Girls screaming while Trump was doing A, B, and C. That's what's in the documents. You don't have to see the pictures. That's all has to be done. Nobody has to be seen. And I'm sure a lot of these documents are already written like that. They don't want to see these videos all the time. That video is just to be shown once or twice. It's written down and describing what's going on in that video. What's going on in the context of all of it. You know that. I know that. America knows that. But you guys keep obfuscating. You keep doing crazy shit. Hiring somebody from the DOJ from January 6th because you knew it was going to be in the news. Out here trying to, you know, put President Obama in jail and trying to get Clinton and everybody to come to your fucking little funky ass meetings. You're doing everything under the sun. And all we're seeing from the outside looking in, even MAGA may be blind, not all of them. Seems like Joe Rogan's kind of awake now. He's waking the fuck up. All we're seeing is you guys going every other direction but the right direction. Throwing phantom things. Oh, let's get the let's go to the other court where it goes to before you actually decide whether you're going to have a case or not. Let's go to that when they get all the transcripts from that. Everybody knows grand juries. If you ever seen even Law and Order, the grand jury, they get a piece of the information, not the totality. Only enough to prove that there needs to be a trial. They don't give you every detail. They're not going to show you every child. They're going to show you what they think to be the most egregious that's going to get you to say yes so they can start a case. And they want you to get the bare minimum of all the shit they have because you know they saved the worst for the trial. And so they want you to see the part in which I'm guaranteeing you, seeing how they was trying to get Ghislaine Maxwell, and he was trying to get Jeffrey Epstein, I guarantee you, those are the only two pretty much mentioned in that. They're charging those two. Why on earth do they have Donald Trump and all these other people, Bill Clinton? Why is their information included in a grand jury, whereas the people that are on a trial are not Bill Clinton or Donald Trump? They want to give you that because Donald Trump's name, I promise you, is not in the grand jury trial at all. It's all the other evidence they have, that they went down a path to see if they can connect Trump to it, went down a path they can connect Clinton to it, went down a path and connect other people to it. They went through this stuff for over a year or two. Well over that. They got it down. If they did their job right, this shit's documented very well. And that's why they could go through it with 1,000 people, 24 hours, and find Trump. I guarantee you he is in that a lot. Because you don't act like they're acting if his name was just speckled in there every once in a while with nothing that doesn't seem or appear incriminating. That was his boy. He mimicked Donald Trump by getting these beauty pageants. It wasn't the other way around. He didn't have the beauty pageants. Donald Trump did. He started a beauty pageant to be like Donald Trump. Go look it up. So Donald Trump's in this deep, and all the people around him have found it out, and they're doing their best to save him. Because why? If he falls, they fall. But here's the thing y'all don't understand, ladies and gentlemen, that are MAGA in office. Donald Trump is going to fall because he's old. I ain't talking about on the ground. He's going to meet his maker just for the fact of old age, if anything else, if not those burgers and them swollen ankles. He's meeting his maker. And when he does and gets out of office, oh, Democrats going to find y'all asses. Y'all going to jail. He going to hell. Y'all going to jail. Because we're going to find out that you guys covered everything the fuck up. That you guys knew in the documentation. Oh, when y'all out of office, Democrats, if y'all don't do this, you can give away my vote is gone. I ain't voting for another Democrat for the rest of my fucking life if you don't put all these sycophants around him behind bars. Because I guarantee you, they're hiding shit. And if it never comes out, or if it is tampered with, which I believe, he sent his personal lawyer to talk to Ghislaine Maxwell, unheard of. And I found out today from one of the, I forgot his name, but he's a lawyer, older lawyer, very well-respected lawyer. And worked for, I don't know if he was a lawyer for, I think, a federal prosecutor, I want to say. He confirmed today, and I'm going to look it up, but he confirmed today what people have been saying, that when Todd Blanche, Donald Trump, and Pam Bondi, Donald Trump's lawyers, right? Once they pled to the oath, everything that they had with Donald Trump is not connected. They can't just plead the fifth and say what they're doing for the United States. I'm Donald Trump lawyer. I can't say nothing. No, everything that happens from the moment they pledge to be the head of the FBI, the head of the DOJ, the head of whatever deputy attorney general, which is Todd Blanche, once they pledge to that, there ain't nothing they can hide that Donald Trump has said or done, and the positions that they're in. Their lawyership is gone. See, Donald Trump is like like a mafia person. See, they always had lawyers around him to do dirt so that they can always say it's lawyer-client privilege. Can't be the lawyer, baby. Once you get into a government position, that shit's out the window. I didn't know that until today. Out the window. You cannot do it. So whatever Todd Blanche did, and if he was working for Donald Trump instead of for the American people, oh yeah, bruh, you can go to jail or at least be charged once the Democrats take office. Todd Blanche, he's on it. I'm telling you, Democrats, you better start making a list of all these people fucking up. Because if you don't take this country back to law and fucking order and just let them fucking fly, it's going to continue to happen. You need to bring the hammer, and I mean bring it hard. And if you are a Democrat that's been a Democrat for a long time and expecting to get back in that bitch, oh no. If you ain't promising this on the trail to be a senator or a representative in 2026 or whatever, going into 2027, if you ain't said none of the shit that I'm talking about, you can forget getting back in the office. We're gonna need some young blood that's gonna come in and get back in and do the right thing. Bring back law and order. I don't care if it does seem like we're hunting them down. They fucked around and now they're about to find the fuck out. Because again, I'm tired of the pussyfooting around. These people have broken all kind of laws. And if you let them continue to do it, the next time they're in office, they know how much further they can go. Because now the norm will be what the fuck they did. You start putting them in jail, you bring that norm back to fucking norm and not batshit crazy where they're at now. Don't let this norm they put in become the norm. You need to know this shit. We're out for them to go to jail. For real reasons. Not to be hunting them just to be hunting them. The laws they broken, they need to go down for. 100%. And you know when Donald Trump leaves, he's going to pardon all of them. But maybe God has something else in plan. Because again, he is an old man. He may go before they can pardon them all. And then we can go ahead and get the rest of them. Clean up on aisle 12. It's time to clean up the trash. Because those MAGA people, when they broke into the House or the Senate, and they spread that feces on the wall, we're going to clean the feces out of the House and Senate. And that's those MAGA people, because they left some shards of shit. And we're going to have to clean up these little bacon strips. Get them out. Put people in that are fighting for the country and they like democracy. Fuck those people who want to tear down democracy and don't want to play fair. They need to go. They need to go. And they need to go back to the cave from whence they came. They are the minority of this country, and this country needs to act like they are the minority. If they don't like it, they can leave the country. But we as Americans, the majority of us, the 70-something% of us, need to take this fucking country back. And leave this 30 or 28%, whatever, in the annals of history. That's where they stay. That's where they belong. They need to go back to 1700. This is 2025 and moving forward, not backwards. That's how I feel about it. Right. Donald Trump can only do part in federal. You're right about that. And that's true, too. The state stuff that's going on, keep the names of those, too. People doing stuff, the state laws are broken. And, yeah, we'll see what happens. There is one more thing from yesterday I wanted to talk about with Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. I want you guys, I know you guys, let me see if I can get it up here, the documentation. I know you guys have seen the photo of Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump, Melania, and Ghislaine Maxwell. I'm trying to bring up this picture here to see if it shows. Wait a minute. Oh, that's the reason I can't see it. There we go. All right, that's not it. And then I want you guys to notice something about it if I can get it rolling. See if this is it. Okay. This right here is a photo. What the hell is it? Come on, man. It's going to go out. This right here is a photo of Jeffrey Epstein, right? This was in Jeffrey Epstein's home, by the way. This right here was in Jeffrey Epstein's home. Back here in the back, you can see to the right of what's circled at the very top. You see Steve Bannon? Got a picture of Steve Bannon. This is at his house. These are things that he's cherishing, that he would put on. Everybody knows you don't put a photograph of nobody up unless anus. I said anus of history. I meant annals of history. But anyway, so you can see in the background the people who were there. Now, I don't know some of these people. You see people who are from Middle Eastern that are wealthy, and him with them, the island and stuff like that to the right. But I want you to see at his home, he has this picture of him, Melania, and Donald Trump. He said they've been friends for 15 years and blah, 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 blah. But you know something that's tripped, and I haven't heard anybody speak of it. There's something wrong with this picture. And it says a lot that your partner in crime is missing. Because that picture is literally this picture. He cut her out. He made sure it was just him and those two. He didn't have her in any of those pictures. His partner in crime that helped him pull off so many illegal actions with young girls is cut out. Now ask yourself, why would you cut your ace one since day one? Cut her out the photo and be with those three. And there's all kinds of scenarios, I know, but you don't cut people out unless you're mad at them, because you got enough money to have a frame big enough to have all y'all in it. It shows me that he thought of all those people there, something different about them. Now, is this his wall of shame? Meaning like every last one of these people on these pictures, I got something on, therefore she's cut out because I ain't got shit on her. Could it be it's something that he was mad at her and cut her out? Or he just didn't like her like that, didn't want to take a picture of her. We don't know, but there is a reason why she's not in the photos. Because think about it, look how much you got to cut. They right next to each other. You got to cut very fucking close to mess around and come up with this photo. She's just right there. And he cut her out. It means something. And I would think that the FBI or CIA, before these sycophants got in, they'd have to know something's up. This makes no sense. Everybody in this, to me, and he's with them, hanging on to him, next to him, and things of that nature, enjoying them. He had a different reason to have these pictures up than to just share wonderful moments. Because Ghislaine is not in it, and that's his ace one since day one. That woman went out and got children for him. That woman had relations with those children for him. That woman is his quote unquote girlfriend for a long, long, long time. And you ain't got your girl in the photos. Something ain't right with that. Something ain't right with that. So if I was a detective, that'd be the first thing I recognize when I looked at these pictures. She's missing. Why? That'd be one of the first questions I would ask her. Why he don't have any pictures of you? Those pictures mean something. I don't know what it is, but I just came up with scenarios, and I know it ain't innocent. It's not innocent at all. A monster that did this to children don't have emotions like this. That's a trophy case right there. All what you see right there is his trophy case of people. And we don't know what it means, but he can't put out children. So who knows? This may be a trophy case of all the men, and each one of these men represent so many children that he's had sold to them. I don't know. And I'm making that up. I have no clue. I'm searching, and it's not a fact. Don't take it as that. But what is a fact is she's not there. Why cut the picture? Detectives should have easily asked that question. I haven't heard anybody in the news say anything about it yet, but maybe somebody knows. Michael Wolff, I should ask him. Michael Wolff been coming up with some serious dirt. If you ain't following Michael Wolff, you need to. My man is giving away dirt every day. Michael, last name, regular Michael, Wolff, W-O-L-F-F. Dude, you said Drew is Columbo. I just noticed difference in patterns. You know, a girl that's been hanging with you forever and been your ace one since day one, you'd have a photo of her. You wouldn't cut her out of shit. So it had to mean something that she's cut out. I mean, whenever you cut out somebody, it was because you was pissed at her or him and you broke up with her or him or something. You wouldn't just cut them out. That's a wall of something. A wall of something. And you could tell it's like celebrities and different things. So in order for him to get close to them, he had no business, y'all. This man was not investing people's money. He was not an investor. He was a man who hid money and secrets. He didn't have an investment license, ladies and gentlemen. Go look it up. Don't listen to me. No investment license. He couldn't actually do anything financially with anybody's money. He wasn't licensed like that. So how is it that this man's making a lot of money? Donald Trump let you know in his little letter that he sent to him. Wonderful secret, enigma. He told you exactly that they deal in secrets. In secrets, things have got to be hella bad for you to get a shit ton of money for secrets. $1 billion or so in one account going back and forth. In one account. I got to tell you something real quick just before we go. How you got $1 billion on one account? Banks don't insure $1 billion. Banks only insure $250,000. And most rich people, when they got that kind of money, they got a shit ton of accounts because everything's going to be insured. They're not going to have a bank just fuck their money over. So they have their money in a shit ton of $250,000 or less accounts, or overseas where they don't get taxed and everything is guaranteed and they put millions and billions. So riddle me this. How does somebody have something, $1 billion in an account that's going in and out, in and out, in and out, and it doesn't flag the government? I took $10,000 to the bank to deposit it from a job I did, and these bitches rung up and said, wait a minute, most you can put in $9,999 or something like that without getting flagged. I was like, getting flagged for what? What the fuck you talking about? And this dude had $1 billion and nobody got flagged? Get the fuck out of here. And especially if you got $1 billion and $9,999 is being shipped around left and right every time. Oh, man, come on now. At some point in time, something in the government, a flag had to go off with this amount of money going back and forth. And this man having no job, ladies and gentlemen. None. He had a few businesses in which he didn't go to. That's why they called him an enigma. Nobody knew what the fuck he did. They just knew he had money and they wanted a piece of it. Take care, Demetrius. Be safe. All right. So go and learn those things. You know, we're going to chat about them again, because, you know, I'm going to keep bringing these things up because I don't want none of this stuff to be forgotten. And I want to continue talking about it because I want people to always remember everything that I'm talking about, because that way it sticks. The truth sticks. And if that happens, then we have a better world. Good people, things sticking is not so hard. We have to match and multiply the lies. I mean, like, we got to match the energy of the lies with truth. And trust me, the lies are strong, man. Y'all don't know how many days I'm tired as hell because I done heard about a gazillion lies, and I only can cover like 6 or 7, a couple hours of them. I can't cover them all. And other people sometimes don't even catch them. And I'll be like, man, you didn't catch that lie? And I didn't see it on news at all. And I'm like, man, how can I keep up with this crap? And that's the point. Flood the lane that nobody can cover all the shit. And that's how they get a lot of this stuff by. Because their MAGA people are looking for, stuff like QAnon. They don't figure out how their MAGA people do stuff. So they know how to send stuff that will stick with MAGA. And we were just, that's stupid. And MAGA be reading that shit and eating it all up. It's good. This poison's good. And then they'll start posting about these whack-ass theories. Take care, Demetrius, man. Be safe. Enjoy the show. Thank you, Thank you, Dennis. Take care. So anyway, we're about to get up out of here. I want to thank everybody. Demetrius, before you leave, thank you very much. 5 of course. Thank you very much. I'm really curious why he was cutting her out of the photos. I'm curious. I'm just saying. I mean, like I said, I don't have the answer, but I can think of a few scenarios, and I know for a fact you don't cut your girl who been with you all these years, and you still with her the day you die. And when you went to jail, she didn't instantly flip on you. You didn't cut her out of these photos because you was mad at her. She's not in these photos because that shelf, to me, is a trophy case. You already got her as a trophy. These people that you're looking at are all people that you either put together, because you got to understand, Donald Trump and Melania, they got together through Epstein. They met through Epstein's guy who was the head of the talent agency to get these young girls. And remember, Donald Trump had a talent agency before Epstein did. Epstein made his talent, his modeling agency. He made his modeling agency in the likeness of Donald Trump's agency. He asked the people who put it together to put it together just like Trump's. So that became his stomping grounds of finding girls. Because he owned it, they kissed his ass, and therefore he had free people. He didn't have to go to the neighborhood schools anymore. They were signing contracts with him while he was doing this type of shit. Feel me? So he got that. He made it off of Donald Trump. So when you look at those pictures, these are all people that he met that he must cherish or respect. Which to me looks more like a trophy case. Because he got those two together. She don't need to be in there because I didn't get her together with anybody. She with me. And all these other people, he's got pictures with them. Together with them. So if you know what this man did for a living, which he didn't have a job, that's a trophy case. Now, what was the trophy? What did they do? What did he have on these people? Because you got to look at it again. He had that picture with Steve Bannon. Who has 15 hours of an interview with Steve Bannon? That'd be Jeffrey Epstein. Had an interview with this guy. Who the fuck is Steve Bannon? Other than the guy who was the media guy for right-wing nut jobs. Breitbart and all that. Something ain't right. And he won't release those 15 hours. So there's a lot going on, but we'll find out. We keep on talking about it. Eventually, it'll come out. More pressure happens, it'll start coming out. Thank you, Rudy and Planet Janet. Thank you, Dennis Pro. Appreciate you being there. 5 on Fire again. Swift Returns. I appreciate you, everybody, for being members. Get to this pasta. All right, sweet. I see you going, Swift Returns. You already left. But if you come back and check it out, I said take care. DJ, as always, I appreciate you, sister. You got, who else is in here? I already said Demetrius. Let's see. Going to the member. All right. I see you, Vera. All right. There's a lot of conversation going on today. That's cool. Glad you guys connected. And I'm going back to the top. I think that's pretty much it. Mark D was here. All right, brother. Appreciate you. And I'm still getting up to the top. I think that's it. For the rest of everybody here, I appreciate you. Benny Loco, there you go. I see you. Good night, Benny Loco. I see your name up there. I see it now. You guys have a great night. Y'all be safe. I'll see you again tomorrow with some more straight facts, no chaser. You know how it is. Be safe. Stay brilliant. And I'll see you when I see you.